Good evening again, board members. Peter Franco, 127 West 12th Street. Yes, I thank Mr. Morris. I mean, I've been fighting this abatement argument. My main concern around it is residential. Last night's abatement I thought was a fantastic abatement, and I give the mayor credit for that because it was commercial property. It was on the MOT, the Military Ocean Terminal. We were not receiving any taxes from it. Now education is getting $3 million from it over the next 25 years. So something like that is good. But when we have these residential pilots, you know, and incentivizing these high-density buildings, my concern is that we're not gauging the impact, because we're trying to project 25 years out, so there's that factor, but we don't necessarily know that what's translating in one part of the city or in one specific building is going to exactly produce the exact amount in the other building. And so what I have called for, and I've been up at the council meetings, and they seem to sort of object to this, I'd like to see members of this board, whether it's one or two, if you form it by a committee, that you guys sit on the decision-making process when it comes to these pilot agreements, because it's your money that's at stake. You know, and a lot of these things, and I'm not talking about, yeah, you know, speaking with education, you know, so that people understand it, there's on every property tax, it's 40, 40, 20, 40 to the school, 40 to the city, 20 to the county. When these pilots go out to incentivize these developers, it's 95% going to the city, 5% to the county. Education gets 0. Mm-hmm. So when we talk about the state funding problem, there's a local funding problem, and that's why it's important. It's not required by law. The city can tell you, no, we don't want you involved. And if they do that, then that's shame on them, and then we can hold them accountable. But we need you to be a part of it.
This is very frustrating because we do hold them accountable, and we do communicate, and it's not always on a camera. There are lots of communications back and forth, and we've even invited them here to sit with us to discuss things. We get the same treatment everybody else gets, and I really, as much as I like to be in 10 places at once, I did pick priorities. I'm doing my job.
I understand, and this is not to discredit anybody, and I don't want you to feel like I'm up here attacking you or whatever the case is, but we're trying to do our part as residents. You're certainly doing your part as board members and stuff like that, but we just want to make sure, because it is, we're trying to project 25 years, and look, the fact of the matter is, I trust you guys with education. I don't trust them. They don't have the background with education. You guys do.
Thank you. I also like to say in everything that obviously we are communicating with City Hall as much as possible, because as you read the mayor's article in the community news 2 weeks ago, we were insulted by the mayor in his column for advocating for our fair share of funding for education, and then even last night at the city council meeting, we were insulted by the city business administrator. So we are, no, I just want to say, even though you don't see it where we're yelling at them in the city council meeting, trust me, there's a lot of dialogue going back and forth, enough where they've actually taken public shots, just so you know, okay?
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Next up, Ms.
Gary,
Schwarzenbach.
excuse me? Mr. Franco, Mr. Morris, believe it or not, you must be having an effect because they did give us a tip, 5%. They wouldn't have given it to us if you didn't raise your voices. So maybe you're more effective than you think you are.